Hi, my name is Niamh Sullivan. I'm a director and actuary on the insurance and product risk management team in MetLife, based in Ireland. So a key part of my role is that I'm a qualified actuary. An actuary is a maths-based career similar to accounting, with exams needed to qualify. So the way I explain it is accountants look at the past and pull together a history of what happened on the profits and the balance sheet, whereas actuaries focus on the future and look at the uncertainty around things. So actuaries tend to work in insurance because of the uncertainty around when people will claim and how much they will claim for. So as an actuary, we usually predict how much money the company needs to set aside to pay out in these situations. In particular, I'm a risk actuary, so I work in the risk function. So we're slightly different. We make sure the company is not taking on too much risk by monitoring the key concerns. And as an actuary, we act as a reviewer to the actuarial team who actually create the numbers and the financial statements, and we review them to make sure they're reasonable and that we're happy with the trends that we're seeing in the risks. And then we also monitor new regulations as they're issued and make sure the company is meeting these requirements. First of all, to become an actuary, I did an actuarial maths degree in Dublin City University in Ireland. So that was a 4-year degree where we learned like basic maths and then also kind of specialised in actuarial modules. As part of that, in our 3rd year, we did a placement in a company, which was a great experience because I still didn't know what an actuary was for a while. I knew it was maths-based, but I hadn't much idea what it was in practice. So as part of that, I worked in an insurance company, a small one called MetLife, and I was answering customer queries on policy amounts and various claims and things like that. So it was really interesting because you're working with the policyholder, which was nice. So actuarial is similar to accounting in that you have to do exams to pass. So we were able to get some of them in college. So there was 8 we could get in college. I unfortunately did not get all of these. I got 3 or 4, I think. I just struggled a bit to get them and I didn't realize how important they were. So I came out of college with 3 and then I did another 8 to do. So that was a journey. So after college, I got a job in another insurance company, Allianz Ireland, in life insurance. It was doing valuations work, which is kind of the pure actuarial work. I guess that's where most actuaries work. So you're kind of calculating how much the company needs to set aside to cover the claims. So because it was a small company, I learned a lot and I got to see all of the various sections of the reporting, but I was kind of curious to see. I was doing reports and sending them off and they were going to other teams like risk and the boards and the executive, and I kind of wanted to be involved in that because my friends call me nosy and I like knowing things. So I saw a risk role come up in MetLife and I moved here in 2017 to the risk team, and I've been here since then. So as part of this team, I first was doing like a governance and reporting role. So that was dealing with reports to senior management and the board, where we track key risks and monitor it regularly. So there's kind of metrics, like key indicators for the business of like how the markets are doing, how we're doing on lapses and things like that. So that was really interesting. I helped run our executive risk committee, so doing the minutes and sending the agenda and preparing papers, which I hated minutes at the start, but it was a great experience because you got to sit on the meeting then and listen, which appealed to my nosy side. So I was there for like 6 years and I've actually just changed roles recently. So before that I was it was like a Europe-based team, and because MetLife is a global company, I was able to take an opportunity for a global international role, which is actually based in the United States, but I asked to stay in Ireland. So the rest of my team is in the US and I am here. So the new team is insurance and product risk management. So it's mostly reviewing new products that are being launched across the globe, so like Asia, Latin America, and checking them. It's products that are high risk, which are brought to the group level, the overall level, and we kind of review them and make sure that everything looks okay. So it's really interesting. I'm still only new to it, but it's been really interesting to kind of learn about different companies and different regulations and products and things like that. So still learning on that, but so yeah, I feel like I'm still early in my career journey, but it's been good. And then, as I said, the exams. So while I was doing all of those jobs and changing around, I was also studying for my actuarial exams while working. So work, usually as an actuary, work kind of pays for your exams and pays for your notes, and they give you some study leave. So that was helpful, but I had a slow journey. So usually it should take you, I guess, 2 to 3 years. So it kind of took me 6 or 7 maybe. I don't examine very well, I guess. I had a couple of fails and yes, I got here eventually. So yeah, it took a while, but it was okay in the end. But yeah, you have some setbacks, and then you kind of, I got in a better frame of mind doing them. And then COVID actually helped because they were virtual and I wasn't as stressed in the exam hall environment. So yeah, I qualified December 2021, so I got there eventually. And then also another part of my career journey is that I'm the co-chair of the charity committee in MetLife. It kind of happened by accident. A friend asked me to join, and then eventually over the years I became the last original member, so I became a co-chair with another girl, and it's a great experience. As part of this, I organise fundraising for various charities and volunteering events such as blood drives and working with the community and things like that. And it's also a great way to meet other people in the company, like other people on engagement committees or people that are volunteering and stuff like that, which helps my real job. But it's nice to just do something different from the day-to-day. Honestly, no. I was never one of those people that knew what I wanted to do. Like some of my friends always knew they wanted to be a teacher or a nurse or anything like that, and I just didn't know. Like I always knew I liked maths. That was always been my favourite subject in school and stuff, and it was always the one when I got homework I did first because I enjoyed it. And I didn't know all I knew with maths is like maybe a maths teacher or an accountant. They were kind of the only two things that I knew about maths, like maths careers. So I did a placement kind of in transition year and 4th year in secondary school in an accountancy. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, and I didn't know what to do. And then my sister's friend was learning to be an actuary, and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And she kind of gave me an overview of what it was and that it was maths based, but kind of a little bit different. That sounded interesting, but I also really liked English and art and other things, so I was still very confused. I think even when I was filling out my forms for college in final year, I had radiography as my top for a while, and then I had history. So by some chance I changed it to actuarial at the last minute, and that's what ended up happening. And it is funny, my job now is kind of a blend of it wouldn't be a pure actuarial maths role. You need to know the maths, but it's a lot of interpreting and writing memos and using English, which was also my favorite subject. So by chance, I ended up finding the two kind of favourite subjects that I liked in my role. But yeah, I never would have known this was a career and thought that I would end up here. I would definitely not be put off by the notion that maths is only for men. I was definitely one of those people, and then that was what put me off doing actuarial for a while. But even my class was half and half, and also that doesn't really matter. And I feel we also add a lot more to it. I know there's, as I mentioned, pure actuarial maths roles, but I think I've noticed women bring a lot more to the role as well, especially this type of interpretation, risk actuarial role, where we have to kind of talk to people and write memos, and it's a lot of working with other teams and communicating with people. And you do notice that women in general are quite like that and enjoy it. Not to generalize, but I find that we add a lot more to it, so it's good to have a mix of people. You need the people that love the pure math side of it, but then you also need the people that like the more communication and social side of it. So it's a good mix. Definitely focus on the subjects that you like. I did not know, but I just knew the subjects that I liked, especially if you're confused, know the subjects you like. And even you could do a pure maths degree, or you could do a special one. I did actuarial, but even there was a general version. It was actuarial and financial maths, so people went off in different directions, and some people are trading now, and some people actually are in completely different areas like IT or computer coding or data analytics, or some of them have gone to accountancy, but that gave them a good base of maths and they knew kind of what they want, and it's deemed a really good course. So it opened a lot of doors for them, and they kind of knew what they wanted to do or what they didn't want to do, I guess then. But it's a good starting point. So yeah, focus what you want and build relationships with people. I know we're talking about maths, but it is important to like talk to people and build relationships, especially in my role. I'm sometimes the bad guy, but it's nice if you have like a personal relationship, and then you can be able to talk to people, and maybe they might need to explain, because there's a lot of things I'm asking people questions, and especially when it's maths or like technical subjects. So if you have a good relationship, they don't mind sitting with you and explaining things.